Wir sind heute hier in Western Australien in Perth und zwar in der ganz neuen Location, in der ganz neuen Branch von Cruisin' Motorhomes. Und ja, wir können uns einmal mit Sam dazu unterhalten, wie Cruisin' Motorhomes denn eigentlich entstanden ist und was wir jetzt hier machen. So Sam, yeah, just tell us a little bit about Cruisin' Motorhomes. When did you guys start? Because it's a family business and it's second generation now.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So my father started the business in '99. Started off with 5 vehicles in total. That came about after a motorhome trip around the USA the year earlier. We loved it so much that we decided that we'd turn into a business. So we started with 5 vehicles and we've slowly grown the fleet since '99. We sort of had slow fleet up until about 2010, and then that's when some of the sons, my older brothers, they sort of joined the business, and from there sort of helped grow the business to where we are now, and we're sort of sitting at the moment over 650 vehicles across the country at the moment.
Okay, but you started out of Tasmania.
Yeah, started in Tasmania. So originally the business started as Cruisin' Tasmania Motorhomes. And then once we moved to our second location, which was in Brisbane, I think it's about 2011, 2012, we then had to obviously have the name change to Cruisin' Motorhomes for our second depot, and then we had to move to Sydney, Cairns, Melbourne, and now here we are in Perth.
In Perth?
Yes.
And you've just opened up Perth?
Yeah, just opened up Perth 1 month ago, essentially. So yeah, we're really enjoying being on the West Coast. We had the East Coast covered for a little while now, but being here on the West Coast, I think will really be a great benefit to our customers.
Okay. And what do you think, what are the unique selling points of Cruisin' Motorhomes?
Our vehicles, we do pride ourselves on having really good quality vehicles. We offer a pretty good range of vehicles to all markets, so we really focus on family market with our 4 and 6 berths. We've also got our sort of couples as well with our 2-berth Sandpiper and our new 2-berth Rover and 2-berth High Top as well, which is on our cruising fleet. Some of the benefits of our vehicles is all of our cruising vehicles do have solar panels. So as a default, you will get a solar panel. That will help a little bit, or a lot actually, with your sort of being able to free camp and being able to go that little bit longer without having to necessarily be plugged into a caravan park. We do still recommend it, obviously, but it does give you a little bit more freedom with that. Also, all of our larger vehicles, we do have the 3-way gas fridges. So that does allow us to be a little bit more self-sufficient when you're out on the road as well, which is really, it's a massive benefit actually.
So what is your recommendation to the customers? How often should they go to the campsite?
As a general rule of thumb, we do recommend sort of every second night. With a little bit more conservative with your power consumption. We would recommend if you're not using your TV and your lights every night, you could sort of get every sort of third night, I think, pretty comfortably. Again, it is weather dependent because you are relying on that solar panel. Yeah. So unfortunately, if you're in Victoria, maybe a little bit cloudier, not as much. But if you're here in sunny Perth at the moment, you'll get a really good use out of the solar panel.
And it depends on which vehicle you're in, because the newer vehicles, they've got more...
Yeah, the bigger the vehicle, so our 6 berths do have that slightly bigger solar panel. But also, that being said, you're probably going to be using a little bit more power as well, because there's more people potentially. So it really just comes down to the individuals and how much power they do use, which all our vehicles do have displays, so you do know exactly how much power you do have and how much you're consuming, so you can make a pretty educated decision on how you're going with it.
And what about the Go Cheap? Because we see here we've got Cruisin' and we've got the Go Cheap.
Yeah, so our Go Cheap, that's sort of a new addition to the Cruisin' brand. So Go Cheap is a side brand. So they're essentially they were Cruisin' vehicles, and once they get to a certain age, so once they get over that 4 years old, we then put them onto our Go Cheap brand. Which they will sit between sort of 5 to 7 years old. So they're still same quality, exactly the same vehicles that would have been cruising. So they're still the really good quality, so the big fridges, solar panels, things like that. They just are a little bit older, but also that's reflected in the price. You generally pay a little bit less for them as well.
So they've got more mileage on, they've got more general wear and tear.
A little bit of wear and tear on them, but we still look after them the same. So we still use the same good quality linen. We still treat them as if they were a brand new cruising vehicle. But I suppose it just, again, gives you more options for our market. So someone who's maybe a little bit more budget conscious. We also do have our Go Cheap High Tops as well, which is a traditional camper van, which is again a really good sort of budget friendly for younger sort of travellers.
And I mean, you've given us a tour around the depot here and around all the different vehicles, and you could really tell that with the cruising vehicles, what I really did like is the interior fit out, how comfy it is, and just the living space you created. It's all light, and you don't have the feeling that you're sitting in a van?
Yeah, so we build a lot of our own vehicles ourselves. So we built a vehicle that's designed for the rental market. So with 25 years of feedback and experience, we sort of build. So that's on our Sandpipers and our Rovers. So we sort of we build them for our rental market. And then our largest Sixbirds were built from a company in New South Wales. They're the best manufacturer in Australia. They've been doing it for many, many years as well. So between sort of both our industry knowledge, I think we've got a really nice sort of product sort of across the whole fleet.
Okay. And as you've shown us around, you've shown us where the laundry is done, where every repair is done. So everything is in-house basically.
Yeah.
So you've got full control of
100%, yeah. So everyone that works on our vehicles in-house, they're all Cruisin employees. So we all take pride in everything. So that's our maintenance crew, our cleaners, our front of staff help. Basically, we just want to have as much control over our vehicles to make sure the experience is as good as possible for the customer.
All right. Any future plans?
Yeah, definitely. Our fleet's always growing. It has been for the last 25 years, so we'll continue to grow our fleet. Expansion, potentially Darwin, Adelaide, but we'll see. And yeah, who knows?
What about the playground in front there?
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that
Yeah.
later. All right. So.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers.